All right, I'm actually kind of excited about this. I love guitar, and I've always looked at these guitars on Amazon that are like, you know, 200 bucks and less that look really cool, and I always questioned, are they any good? Well, I've seen a few reviews on Jaymz guitars. I decided to give it a try using some Amazon gift cards that I got for Christmas. This is the Tempest. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was maybe, I don't know, 10 years old. I've pretty much always been a metal fan. Yeah, I like some pop and stuff like that, but metal is kind of my true love. And I've never owned a guitar with active pickups, which this guitar does. So I figured, why not give it a shot? It was $239. This thing has an incredible looking finish on it. Other reviews have said that it was really great. And at $239, that might be able to buy you a set of active pickups. So I was like, well, why not? Let's try it out. So let's go ahead and open her up. Okay, first of all, the package itself, the box, it's a glossy, nice package, but I did notice this came via UPS, I think. There's a pretty good dent in this right there, but it didn't go all the way through, so we'll see how it goes. Looking at the top of the box right now, we've got foam in there, so that's, I guess, a good sign. It's not super heavy either. So it is encased in foam. Well, there's one piece of tape at the bottom, nothing at the top. All right, so we've got a gig bag that, it's not a padded gig bag. You know, I've got gig bags that are as good as my hard cases, the ones that I get with the Kiesel guitars. And yeah, you know, especially after spending, what, $4,000 on Kiesel guitars last year, custom guitars, I'm like, let's just see what we can get for under 300 bucks. And even if I have to modify it a little bit, maybe add some locking tuners because this one doesn't have that, or something like that, that's still inconsequential. So the gig bag here, it's kind of a nice, strong canvas feel to it. Inside of there, we've got you got online music lessons, tremolo bar, because this is a tremolo guitar, a couple of Allen wrenches in here, and some desiccant silica gel, that's it. Some handles on the back here so it can be a backpack. And the handle is kind of padded. But other than that, it seems like a pretty decent gig bag, but totally unpadded. All right, let's unzip this thing. You ready? Okay. Not quite yet, because it's wrapped in this gauze paper stuff. Oh, man. That headstock is one of the things that got me. I like this little cutaway on here, the little routed area. That's where their logo goes. Now, they have guitars that are, you know, like Les Paul or a Stratocaster or something like that. But some of those headstocks, they don't look all that great. Now, that actually looks good, and that looks like it was intended to be there. Let me come a little bit closer to the camera here. Yeah, man, that looks really, really good. And I like that they have the top wood on here that matches the body. There were a few things about this guitar that I was like, yes. All right, take this off of here. That's your switch. 1, 2, 3. Just 3-position switch, not a 5-position. Get this paper off of the strings. Now, you know, I don't always think that the strings are going to be perfect on these guitars. You know, my first guitar was a Gibson SG copy. Man, that is, that is pretty. Look at that. Of course, you've got the little receptacle down there for your 9-volt, because this is an active pickup guitar. You're going to need 9 volts. And what I'm doing is I actually ordered a couple 9 volts from Pale Blue. I actually have shown their batteries and their little solar charger on here before. They're great rechargeable batteries, and I picked up 2 9 volts for like 22 bucks. I'll never have to buy a 9 volt again because I can just charge one while I'm using the other. You get the point. Okay, so active pickups on here. We've got this is the Wilkinson TT series tremolo. Feels real good on the leg here, and I love these inlays. These inlays, they roll around to the side here, so it's really easy to see where you're going on your neck, and they just look different, right? I mean, they're not like every other one that's out there, so I'm really liking that. It is a bolt-on neck, and the backwood on this is mahogany. Let me pull up the listing so I can give you some accurate specs on this. Oh, I'm sorry. It actually wasn't $239. It was only $229, so less than 230 bucks. Listing says Leo Jaymz electric guitar Tempest series mahogany body and maple veneer, so maple top, maple neck, and rosewood fingerboard. It has Alnico V active pickups, Wilkinson 2-point tremolo bridge, and this color is blue flame. They also have blue ocean and violet flame. Unique fingerboard inlay with a radius of 14 inches. The specific pickups are Leo Jaymz TE27/49 Alnico V active pickups, powerful pure, and the specific tremolo is the Wilkinson WOV10 2-point tremolo bridge. And it has 24 frets. But yeah, there were a few things about this guitar that I was like, oh, I really like that. The inlays, the active pickups, the neck actually feels really quite good. And the fretboard doesn't look too dry, which seems to be a problem with a lot of the sub $300 guitars that you'll see on Amazon. The thickness of the neck feels just about how I like it. I feel like the neck is a little bit more rounded than I like. I like it to be a little bit more of a flat spot in the back there. But yeah, those look really good. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to dive into this a little bit more and talk a little bit more about what I do like about it and stuff, but the shape of it is really, really nice. And not too bad on the action, and I don't hear a lot of fret buzz. There's a little bit there. Well, I tell you what, let me get this thing tuned up and let's try it out. All right, after about an hour of tuning this, stretching the strings, tuning it again, stretching the strings, I finally got it to stay in tune. There's a couple of tuning pegs here, particularly this one here, that has some stepping in it. So it's like just about tuned and then it steps and it goes above. So I got to tune it below and tune back up. For me, these tuning pegs definitely need to be replaced. And well, it's going to be locking tuners when we change them out. Initially, when I pulled this out of the box, I thought, well, the action's not all that bad, but this action to me, it's a little bit high. The neck looks pretty straight. Everything looks good on the neck. The neck does feel very good. It's kind of got like that matte finish on it, so it feels great on the hand. And I'm still really digging these inlays. It's unique and, you know, I like it. It's easy to see from top. The tremolo arm in this is a pop-in style tremolo arm. I don't love that. I would prefer that it screws in, but once it's popped in there, it does seem to stay in place. So it's not just flopping around. That's good. Now I haven't really used this tremolo yet. It is sort of floating. You can go up and down with it. Oh, well, I just used it. Let's see if it went out of tune because this thing was set and ready to go before I turned that camera on. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, and that already went out of tune a little bit. Let's just do a quick one. I took it like almost like a half a step down, geez. Yeah, locking tuners, man. All right, we got it back in tune, and I'll go ahead and mic up this amp here in just a couple of seconds. But yeah, the finish on this looks really good. I buffed it out. There might be a couple of little dings in it and stuff. And I did notice that the tip right here, it is a pointy tip. There was actually a ding right there, just a little chip of paint. And man, here's a better view of it. And I was like, dang. I mean, I could see if I banged the head, but I mean, that was when I took it right out of the package. I could see it on the video when I was looking at it. All right, let's mic it up and see what it sounds like. All right, I've got this plugged into this little Kiesel Mini, and it sounded pretty good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be talking about this here on the channel very soon. I've also got a Bogner Mini. Just going through all the mini amps. I love them. They're fun. A couple of little details that are pretty cool. These knobs are nice. They do have a little indicator dot on them, and they're different from any knobs that I've seen. They're pretty cool. Here is a close-up of the bridge / tremolo, and it definitely went out of tune just from messing with the floating bridge. Yeah, granted, these strings are probably not the best strings, and these strings are a lot heavier. They're heavier gauge than I usually use. I use Ernie Ball Super Slinkies, so anything heavier than that, I'm like, oh man. So those are going to get replaced, and I'm most likely going to replace these tuners as well. But aside from that, she's actually very nice. It's even got nice binding around it and everything. All right, let's see how it sounds with some hard rock metal stuff. Sounds pretty good. I turned the presence up and the gain as well as the treble on this a little bit. It's quite a bit different than the last guitar that I had plugged in here. It was the headless Kiesel that I had in here. I will say that I don't seem to get as much crunch out of the low E string as I do on some of my other guitars, and I thought with active pickups that it would be a whole lot more. Rusty on that song, but the guitar sounds pretty good. I guess what I need to do is get those locking tuners. I'm going to change these strings. I think maybe we'll do an update to this video to show you what I've done to this guitar and if it actually helped, if I can get the action down and all that stuff. So it puts out a pretty good tone, and the best part about it is it's a different tone from the other guitars that I have. You know, I've got a lot of humbucker guitars. These active pickups, they're going to take a little bit of getting used to for me because, well, they pick up everything. Like when you move your fingers across the strings, you're hearing that. Which will force me to get a little bit more accurate. Like I say, I've been playing since I was 10, but I've gone maybe a year or so without playing at times, and you know, it's the ebb and flow, you know what I mean? But lately I've been doing some writing and stuff, and I'm really excited about it. Everything is energized, and testing out new equipment like this is always something to inspire you, and a different sound will inspire me too. Now, is this the guitar that you would get for somebody who's just starting to play? I don't know, because, you know, I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit, and if you don't know anything about guitars, you want to make sure you get something. Although my SG copy, my first guitar, that sucker was not very good. So stock, it does play pretty well, but yeah, like I say, I'm going to tweak with it just a little bit. As a project guitar, yeah, definitely I could see something like that. There are guitars from companies that are well known, like, you know, Fender Squier and Jackson and things like that, that might be similar to the cost of this. But this is just something different, you know? Kind of reminds me of an Ibanez. Well, my plan is, once I do all the tweaking that I'm going to do with this, well, then I'll come back and do an update video, and we'll see how it goes. Overall, I'm really happy. It is a nice guitar, and I would buy it again. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel, so if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there is a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. You can click both of those. You'll get notifications when I upload new videos. If you have any suggestions for locking tuners, please leave those down in the comments. Or if you have any suggestions to make this guitar even better, leave those in the comments too. Well, it's Friday and it's Beer 30, so I'm going to get on out of here. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.